Black fatigue is when I can hear you 10 miles away in Walmart with your 5 kids. Black fatigue is when you have no home training and you have no idea how to act in public. And a lot of it is culture. I've been in the hood, I've been in the schools and the projects where I was the only white girl there, and I can 100% guarantee you that it's culture. When majority of y'all know someone who has been unalived by another black person, way more than any instance of a black person being unjustifiably unalived by the police, that's black fatigue. As well as donating to Carmelo Anthony and Rodney Hinton Jr. When you aren't able to hold your own community accountable, that's a problem. We're not going to sit here and act like this is new now, because now white people are speaking out. Especially when we've been told for so long to feel sorry for our whiteness and that we have white tea privilege, whatever the that means, for something no white person alive today did and no black person alive today has experienced. There is no way that y'all thought that we would be quiet for this long. You know, having us on our knees, kissing BLM's feet, still begging for the reparations that you are not owed because you did not go through what your ancestors went through. Nobody cared about race until you started blaming white people for all of your current problems. We're just untolerating.
Okay, so this was an interesting clip, and I was reading the comments. I saw this on Instagram. I don't know her name. I was trying to find her on TikTok, but wasn't able to. But the overwhelming majority of comments said that she had a point about things. Now, black fatigue, as you guys read in the title, because I've covered a few videos, obviously this term has been co-opted, for lack of a better term, and the definition has been changed. So for all you guys, G.R., that's not what black fatigue means. Well, that's what it means now, what everybody's talking about. All right, so I'm using it in this instance. Black folks are tired of these type of folks as well, these type of black folks, right? But a lot of the things she said, we can agree with. We're tired of this. We don't like seeing this type of stuff. We don't like that type of behavior. But that's not the majority of black folks. What I want to say is that the African American was created by the white man, right? And I'm not about to go off on some liberal side of things with this conversation, but the fact of the matter is, you have a people who only been free since the 60s. You can talk about the Emancipation Proclamation and all this other stuff, but really after Jim Crow, it's really been since the late 60s, right? So we have to understand that, right? We're talking about, as a white person, you didn't have these constraints and these laws in place, or you didn't have to have legislation to be considered a citizen. You didn't have to have a civil rights movement. United States was supposed to be a white person's paradise, right? Where you can start over free from religious persecution and whatever your government and your country had going on. You can come here and get a new start, right? And you weren't a second-class citizen regardless. As long as you had white skin, you were free here. But the black folks, there were laws in place, which I don't know why. And this is the conversation that goes on with white folks, where they say, well, I didn't do that and you didn't have to go through that. But there's still things in place, guys. I could name a bunch of stuff that still goes on. I live in the South, that you can tell, where there's no equality. That's why it's important for a lot of times for black folks to develop their own communities, jobs, police their own communities, create their own jobs and things like that without the assistance of the white man. And that way you have a thriving community and hold your people accountable, right? The way she's talking as if white people don't commit any acts of homicide, violence, and as if white people hold others accountable. She even talking about contributing to the young man or whatever. But every time a white police officer or a white person kills a black person, it's the same thing. So what she's saying is kind of like disingenuous, in my opinion. That's just insane. But yes, black folks are tired of the gang banging, the violence, the robbing, stealing. As my man Javon said the other day, you're scared of white folks when you're more likely to be killed by another black person. Not that white folks don't kill other white folks, but it's in terms of black folks being scared of white folks. Hey, I know we still got these sundown towns and things like that, but you're more likely to be killed by someone of your own color, especially in your own neighborhood, statistically. Just my thoughts. So I don't have a problem with what she said overall, other than she said a few things that I thought was disingenuous. But hey, we got another clip here of another guy. He goes on and talks about his experience. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Black fatigue. It's all over my FYP page. Thank you. I am so happy that this is being brought up. And oh, by the way, for us white people that have been around the block a long time, this isn't new to us. We've been dealing with this for over 40 years. Here's my story. This is about 2015. I'm at Put-in-Bay. Put-in-Bay's on South Bass Island in Lake Erie. There's a bunch of bars out there. It's a great place for adults to go play. Think of Pat Daly, Mad Dog Adams. If you don't know those guys, think of Jimmy Buffett. I'm sitting on a bench on Delaware waiting for my wife, who's in a shop shopping. And at the time, the traffic is two ways. And I think I witnessed why it is no longer two ways. It's a Saturday afternoon. The island is packed. The traffic is bumper to bumper. These two guys going in opposite directions decide to stop and have a chat. Not for a couple seconds, not for a couple minutes, but I think it was around 10 minutes before people started to threaten them. But around the 5-minute mark, I'm just sitting there with my arms folded, just shaking my head. And I hear this voice. This is what's holding us back. This is why we're hated. And I turned around to see who had said it, and it was a black couple about my age. And then he looked directly at me and said, 30 years ago, I'd go down there, grab those idiots by their dreadlocks, and teach them a lesson their fathers never did. And I looked at him and went, 30 years ago, I'd have been right there with you. I have hated this type of behavior my entire life. I've never gotten it. How self-centered do you have to have no respect for any other human being? It's all about you. These are the people I've spent my life avoiding. But I had never thought about it from the black community side. And I gotta say, it sucks a lot more for you guys than it does for us white people because you're associated with it, right? There are a lot of whites that just put you all together. And it has slowed down the healing of this country. But seriously, 40 years ago, racism should have been over. Unfortunately, the Democratic Party has continued to fan the flames of racism to make money and to get votes. I'm so thankful that a lot of you are waking up to this. And again, I can't stress this enough. This isn't a black thing. This is a behavior thing. Some of my closer friends are black, and I love and appreciate them. And I'm very thankful that they have not allowed the crappy behavior out of some to drag them down. Well, I hope you're having a great day. I hope to see you tomorrow.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. And 30 years ago, you wouldn't have done nothing. I'm just being honest, man. This is Lake Erie, so I'm assuming that could be a few different places. Obviously, this is in the Midwest somewhere. But this behavior has been allowed to run rampant in the community. And we support the drug dealers, the thugs, the killers, all this stuff like that. But the square is looked at as a joke in the black community, when we shouldn't allow these type of things to thrive, even though it's attractive, even though everyone else on earth tries to emulate it and tries to be like it. Doesn't matter what race you are, you're gonna try and emulate it, but it's not cool. Women raise these type of guys and they love these type of guys in the black community. I think everybody's tired of it. And hopefully it does come to a point where it no longer becomes cool. It no longer becomes the thing or desirable or edgy, if you will, because we do have terrorists in our own community that do this to other black people, which is just insane. So a lot of people had a lot to say about what Buddy had to say, but he didn't come across it in a malicious way. He spoke on politics and things like that and a certain party. But yeah, man, we're tired of the gangsterism and all that foolishness, man. And it's you who are in charge of your own community, even though we could say the black man is against the black woman doesn't want the father in the home, so on and so forth. And you always choose the wrong kind of man. Got a long way to go. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. It's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. I'm the best. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. Peace.